going. Never gonna stop what I'm doing. Just going and going and going all the time. Oh god. No echo. No echo allowed. How dare. Alright, let's post here. Yep. Looks like that worked. Okay, and then there's good. Go here. Go here. Go here. That one. Yep. And then we'll move this over here. Looks like I got like 4 followers earlier today. The Fantastic Leia. No, I got another one yesterday. Moo Kilt. Maybe? Fantastic Leah, Roderick, TW, Girl with a Bat, and Calvyberry. Thank you all very much for those follows. I appreciate every single one of them, more than I can express in words properly. And then Pictish, hi. Good to see you, Pick. You're doing alright. I decided to stay with the shirt. Don't know if it'll be a good decision or not. We'll find out. I also... We're not playing this, but hey, look what I got! I got Final Fantasy VII Remake working on the PS5. So, at some point, I'll download the episode expansion for that with Yuffie. Play that at some point. I don't know if that'll be on stream or not. Because also, I did want to go through and like finish all the like miscellaneous stuff in Remake at some point, and this would be like a good excuse to do some of that kind of full on the hard mode. Why are you in jail again? I'm in jail. So why is this not capping? I mean, I guess I really don't care while I still have to do my password and stuff, but... That's why. And we'll just have to make sure that I'm covering the chat properly. Might have to adjust this to make it slightly bigger, I'm thinking. Let's test here. Alright. I'm actually just gonna... Game? Okay. I was gonna say, please don't crash. And now you're burning my house down again. That's great. Don't know what I do to deserve burning my house down, but it's okay. So... couple things have changed since the last time I streamed this game. Always burning down my house. I just don't understand. So the thing is, after you beat like the main storyline, the game is like, here, have a village lot. So I have a house now, and like a proper house, not like a row house. I still have my row house too. And I'm like working on decorating it still. I'm basically collecting any of the random stuff that I've been getting. And building it out. Hold on, let me also just make sure. Okay, that's good. A couple people have been nice enough to donate me some stuff. Like I got this fish from a random thing, right? And I've been getting like paintings. There's a loot up there. They gave me some like light sources. And there's like these like crystal ones from the ceiling, which are really kind of pretty. I'm a big fan of those. Then like upper story. And then there's this third story. Like collecting random knickknacks. Please let there be light. And this is gonna be a bathroom at some point. There are privies in the game, so we'll have to get a privy at some point. So like, we're making progress there. Also, you might be seeing that I have like an angelic halo currently, so. got crafting. Is there a buyback system? I don't think so. Because, like, as soon as you sell something to a vendor, it enters, like, the random loot table, I think. So I'm not aware of one. Hey, Myths. Thanks for stopping by. I can't believe Pick was burning down my house right there. Like, how rude, eh? Seriously. But anyway, I got the Shroud of the Avatar. I've beaten the game. Basically. And I have a bear helmet now, too. And full plate. I didn't have full plate last time I didn't complete either. So I've made some, like, enhancements there. I also mastered my first skill. I have Bladed Combat maxed out, finally. I'm trying to get if there's anything else that was, like, super noteworthy. Since the last time I played. Call up. Oh, it looks like Coswell just got back to town. I could use the signpost to fast travel, but like... Oh, I just feel like walking. You got a bear head. It was very heavy, so you had to sell it. I have a pristine polar bear head in my inventory right now. That I don't even know what to do with, honestly. Oh, I have a ton of stuff in here. That I need to get rid of. I think that's something we're definitely going to have to do. I'm going to do wave to these folks. Go on my way. Yeah, I have 500. Yeah, my carrying capacity right now is 508. I have 107 strength base. So when I fully buff myself, it's even better. Oh, why is the river red now? Alright, so when I'm fully buffed up, it's 169. Which brings my carrying capacity up to 733. So theoretically I can carry 733 pounds of stuff. That's a little dumb. Most of the armor and stuff I'm wearing has incredible amounts of stats on it. This one guy that's in my guild is a big crafter. And I've been buying his stuff as I've like hit enough money to be able to do it. I have enough money right now to go buy more. But we're good at the moment. Yes, yes, miss. What's up, buddy? You doing alright over there? Chainmail, belt of control. I don't want to destroy. Don't want to kill my horse. I got a horse too. I didn't have that much metal. Horse will increase it further. Can I mount in town? I thought I could only mount in the overworld. Oh, well, okay, that's fine. Can I use it while it's locked, though? Yes. Okay, thank you. I didn't know I could use the horse in town. I'm learning all sorts of new stuff all the time. So, what is 1,247. I'm sorry, miss. Oh, that's great. Makes me so happy. Alright, how do I dismiss the horse so I can use the item again? Is there a buff I gotta cancel? Cancel the buff. How do I dismount? Mistakes were made! Fine, whatever. Can I work on the stations while I'm on a horse? That's the real test. I cannot interact while mounted. Okay. It does feel weird that the horses can't jump. It definitely does. I can see why that's a priority. Escape. Okay. Well, Thank you for the pro tip that I need to ISK. How you doing, Sean Butts? Appreciate you stopping by. Hope you're all ready to have a good time. Forehead can go. Leather can go. Unrolled scrolls, if I could get something for those. Top belts. Leather belts. Alright. How goes it for everyone? Well, I can't speak for everyone, but I'm doing alright, I guess. Monday. Work, work, work. I'm gonna try to repair the viola tomorrow. Fantastic. The best of luck in your repairing endeavors. I know that was something that you were working on. I don't think this one helps me with anything currently. Polar bear head then, though. I have the mount for that. We gotta go give that to Kaz. So I don't waste it on something. I don't think I got any. I haven't been fighting anything that drops corpses. Carpentry. The one I didn't check. Oh my god, all those maps. Only got 16 durability left on my tool. Oops. Definitely don't want to do that. No, don't stack them. If you stack them, then it doesn't salvage them. I learned that the hard way. I said, don't stack me! Let's swap. Two more. Can't see if it's stacking them or not. Whatever. Hold on, the Cobalt Essence they are used when making dungeons. Okay, thank you. I mean, I wasn't planning on getting rid of the essences. I figured they were probably maybe not valuable, but useful. Got some Lich Essence too, I think. I'm only vendoring things that I'm told to vendor, basically, at this point. So. Ah! Look at that. Maps. Getting in my way, maps. Good. Broke our tool. Broken tool. Alright, let's go ahead and use an item. I'm trying to jump so hard. Oh no, are they AFK? I hope they laughed. Those buffs! Oh, I should hit the shrines before I go. That is something I should definitely do. So the only problem is I'm a little low on pool DXP right now. I'm down to 500,000 from like sacrifice. Is that sacrifice? A little signpost say. Oh, I don't want that. Super convenient that somebody did that. That sweet, sweet dexterity, baby. Oh wait. I want Valor. This is health, right? Oh. 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 There it is. Give me. Okay. Your roast stew beef is done. Oh yeah, that's good beef. Heck yeah, myths. I love stew. I don't have any stew meat right now. I would definitely have that on my list of things to do. Did I do my test yesterday? Let's go check before I leave town. So I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do yet today. Mostly right now, I'm just trying to get stuff like better so that I can actually like do better content or harder stuff. I need to get this to 80 so I can unlock specialization of blades. That's like top of the list of things to do. But that should just gain as I'm getting other blade skills. I believe mastery does. Can you test me, please? No? Okay. By the end of stream, we'll do the test then. And I've got like 2 ideas. They're both very boring, but I kind of figured this would be a more kind of chill stream tonight anyway, honestly. Because that's, I mean, if I wasn't feeling chill stream, I would probably be playing more near, but I'm kind of concerned about being emotional wreck by the end of stream tonight, so do near tomorrow maybe, see how I'm feeling tomorrow. Yeah. It, somebody messaged me on Facebook like 7 hours ago. That shows how often I check Facebook, eh? Oh, thanks, Myth. I appreciate that. Oh yeah, but Vic already pointed out earlier, so might as well self-promote a little bit too. Deer randomly today on stream was like, hey, send me a picture of your cat. That made that live as we're hanging out and was like, you know, I feel bad for all the work you guys put in and stuff, whatever, so let me do this for you. And I twisted Deer's arm, and I got them to agree to let me give them a tip at least for it, so. But it is great, and I hopefully will get a lot of use out of it when Reiki decides to pop my stream, which she's not in here right now. But she has been very, 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 very snuggly today, so I would say the chances of her showing up are not 0. So. Alright, puzzle done. Hopefully I got it right. Done it a couple times if it wasn't obvious at this point. That I have that part memorized. That'll be fine. So yeah, right now I'm doing like heavy armor, swordsmanship, earth, and fire is like the primary abilities, and then I've got like a couple of other trees, like bard for the healing spell, for instance, right now. I'm not like 100% like set on that being my build. I don't think I want heavy armor in the end. I think I'd rather have leather. I know that takes care like a lot of my survivability out of the equation, but I think it'll be a good time. And it just, I don't know, kind of fits what I kind of feel like I want this character to be. Oh, there's somebody actually in here. Okay. I don't think I've ever seen somebody in here. That is cool with me. I did not buff. Hopefully I don't die. I do have healing potions though, so we should be... if things go sideways. So, yeah, it's been a pretty good time. Sweet Ren's off, getting those offhand skills in. Sawblade strike, I guess, because I got nothing better to do right now. Square jar brown get. Hype, 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 hype. There's our target right there. But these guys here are going to be what we do between waves. So I might as well clear them out. Start. I keep bugging out the mimics. If you click on them too aggressively sometimes, I've had it where the game is like, yo, 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 there's somebody like trying to use that item right now. Not great. Mimic, how you doing? Alright, another map. Mappity mappity. We lost a berserk, so we can apply that. Makes it like nearly impossible for us to cast any spells though, so like I gotta make sure I use any buffs before that, and then be mindful of my HP. Because it does definitely increase my physical chance for even casting healings. First kill. First flippin' kill. Funny. Yeah, so we're trying to collect Coswald's crap, primarily. But also, like, I just enjoy the imps because they're not too hard to kill. They do apparently steal my gold as they hit me. But, like, I've noticed that as I just do waves of them, like, I generally still come out net positive, so I'm not, like, too concerned about it. But it does make their, like, gold pool look larger than it actually is, apparently. But, like, I just like seeing all the crap at the loot table. I got a house to decorate, you know? It's decorate with other people's crap. But how y'all doing tonight, chat? Are you having a good time at E3? I was saying this in some of the chats that I was in earlier today, but I think out of all the stuff that I've seen so far, I was talking to Malu, I think, in particular. The Guardians of the Galaxy game is probably the most exciting, like, completely brand new thing I've seen. And, like, exciting is too strong of a word. It's more like, I think that looks interesting or could be fun, depending on how things are done. There's been criticism levied at it from pretty much everybody that I've seen, like, see it, that they're concerned that the characters are going to talk too much, and I think that is 100% a risk in that game. And I wasn't exactly happy with the amount of, like, cutscenes and stuff in the game from the trailer they showed off. And again, it's a trailer, so, like, obviously there might be differences, but I would want that game to be a lot of action and a little bit of the decision-making, not a ton of that stuff. Yeah, but I hate Sea of Thieves. The Mario and Rabbids 2 is interesting. I haven't beaten the first one. There was a Donkey Kong DLC too, wasn't there, for the first one? I haven't played that either. So I definitely didn't expect it when I saw it leaked, and then I spoiled it for Barry without realizing that Barry didn't know. Because I am a bad person. This is my last tool. Game, please, let me. Thank you. Let's get that carpentry hammer fixed, shall we? And then after Guardians being something that I didn't know about before today, or this E3, I think the other one that's got me the most excited is probably Far Cry 6. And a lot of that has to do with the guy they have playing the villain. I'm drawing a blank on his name right now. Carlos Esposito? I think that's right. There have been some semi-acquisitions at Nintendo for taking the character of Rabbid Rosina from an artist. Oh. I don't know how that works. Like, if you take something with someone else's IP and you do like a fan art thing, and then Ubisoft and Nintendo makes it a real thing, do you really get to call a foul there? Like, I don't know the answer to that. Simply like thinking. But like Far Cry 6, like, it looks interesting. But I'm like definitely not excited for it. Like, it's been, I haven't played a Far Cry game since Far Cry 3 that I like beat. Yeah, I guess maybe I haven't even played a Far Cry game since 3. It's not that I like dislike the games or anything. Like, I think they're fine games, but they're very samey. Like, everything in 4 did not look like it was much different from what 3 had given. I hear 5 is good. Nope, not the one we need. Oh, like the laziness and stuff? But I mean, if you were gonna make a more rabbited sized version of Rosalina, like, I thought the little bit of like character personification you see with her, like, laying there looking at a book, like, seems to be pretty accurate to like what the character does in the series, right? In Galaxy, at least. So, like, I don't think it's a stretch to be like, well, that would make sense for, oh, baby. You like Far Cry, but something has probably speed on it, you immediately have attention. Yeah. I think that I like Far Cry. I've played 1. I've played through all of 2, and I've played through all 3. So I haven't played any of the most recent ones, because again, it's that Ubisoft issue, right, where they get to be very iterative and like not have new stuff that makes me excited to play their games. And I'm not saying that like 4 or 5 are probably bad games. It's just that there was nothing that I looked at there and said, this is something I want to play. And even now, like, the biggest reason I'm still hemming and hawing even if I'll play Far Cry 6 is like, I don't want to have to climb a radio tower. I gotta be straight up. Like, climbing radio towers in 3 was fine, but like, as a one-time dealio kind of thing? That's why this the meme about the Ubisoft towers, right? And like, clearing out bases and stuff in 3 was fun. And I'm sure it's fun in 4 and 5. But yeah, it's the narrative in 6 that I think is interesting. And then I think it's really funny, too, that they're like, we're not trying to be political here. It's a really weird stance to take with that game, which is clearly based on, like, revolution, you know? Try to think. Oh god. There's a rend at least finally. Alright, what do we got here? What do we got? What do we got? Respawn faster, you Here we are. They are back. But I'm probably losing. Yeah, I'm losing the XP. Just not great. These imps are too weak for me at this point. But that's okay. Because they've got the loot table I need right now. That might have been something worthwhile. Nope. Not what we're looking for. Remets, you still enjoying the game so far, though? It's good that you got a bear head. That means you killed a bear, right? It scratches an itch for me that I have a really hard time expressing. Cotton. Cotton to harvest. Do 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 do. Okay, so if you finished all the quests in Solace Bridge Outskirts, you should have gotten another quest basically leaving. And I think Solace Bridge takes you south. I don't have a world map in front of me right now. You're heading to Ardonis eventually, but there's another town you have to go to first. If I remember correctly. Or am I thinking of Blood River? So basically there's 3 starting areas effectively based on which gate you jump through when you first make your character. And ideally you want to do all 3 of those eventually because they all are the virtue quests. Can I see the world map here? No. How do I look at a world map game? No, I can't do it in game, huh? Yeah, so if you complete all the quests, you'll get a hit to the next area. And also, like, this is a super helpful link for you. Yeah, okay, I was right. So yeah, so from Solace Bridge, you should go to Soul Town, and then from Soul Town, you'll eventually go to Ardonis. And Ardonis is like one of the big capitals. A lot of players are set up down there. Lots of good shops and things in that town, for sure. Anyway, and then that'll give you your next breadcrumb, basically. And then from there, I'm actually drawing a blank off the top of my head right now. I just did them all recently. Well, I finished them all up. I had started all 3 of them up until the point you basically are done on each of the outskirts. But, yeah. Skills do not cap at 100. But I don't know enough to say more than that. I don't know if that's... Because there's like one expansion effectively out for the game right now. called Episode 2 that unlocks like another continent and some additional stuff up there. Um, and I don't know if going past that skill cap is part of that or not. But I definitely know I've seen people that have up to like 160 in skills. But my understanding is, and again, I don't know the nuts and the bolts enough yet. I'm still learning a lot of that kind of stuff. But my understanding is basically like at 100 is when you've gotten the most the most bang for your buck basically. And then everything after 100 is it helping you improve, but there's also like a huge cost associated with it in some cases, right? So like a level 100 fireball is gonna give you the most efficient fireball. You can't earn enough this century. Okay, thanks, Sean. But you got to be careful past 100 as well, right? Because you start to use like incredible amounts of focus and things for certain abilities. And sure, the damage goes up, but it isn't at the same rate as like under 100, right? And yeah, I think somebody was mentioning something like you would need like 1 trillion EXP or something to basically max out everything right now. But I don't know the specifics. Well, that's a little too... There are definitely skills you want to take over 100, but the question is how much do you want to take it over 100, right? From what I understand, which again... Definitely not an expert. Because there's like a soft cap on how much EXP you can get per day as well. I think it's like 14 million right now or something. It used to be 1 million from my understanding. So they've loosened that up a little bit. But yeah, Sean, if you have further corrections... Some are 8 times that? Oh boy. Yeah, someone was telling me, like, so in the swordsman tree, in the blades tree, excuse me, you got vital points, and then in the subterfuge tree, you have a similar skill, armor weak points, but this apparently takes a higher multiplier of EXP than this to work on, basically. And of course, since I'm a dummy, I'm training them both right now. Game we can play for 100 years. So the lore.com. I think URLs should be okay here. I don't have them blocked. As long as nobody's abusing it. But I appreciate your carefulness. Pay to win scheme. I hear it's more. Yeah, and then the other thing to remember too, Myths, is like having the EXP in your pool, you still have to train that skill to get the EXP into your skill. So like hitting that 14 million cap per day, like you're probably not gonna be able to train through that 14 million either. And you'll just continue to gain more kind of the next day as well, right? You might understand how this all works. Again, not an expert. The most I've been able to manage is 1 million, and that was when somebody was carrying me, basically. That was like 1 million an hour, so it's crazy. Why is my guy's head glowing? Because I am majestic, cousin. I mean, you always knew I was going to amount to something in my life, right? Now I'm a glowy dude. I am the avatar. And currently it's the cloak that gives me like the best skills, which is basically that strength. It's literally the only reason I'm wearing it right now. That's my previous cloak was pretty generic. Sing a little ditty about myths? Alright, let's see here. Haven't had to do one of these in a little bit. Remember when you kill Apollo in God of War? Walk around using his head as lantern. Yeah, I mean, like, if I take off this item, then the glow goes away. Not in combat. Take it off! Did I not take it off? I am still in combat. God. I swore his hammers were by his side. There we go. Okay, see, now I'm not glowing anymore. Now I just look a bear. But now I'm a holy bear. The holy bear. I take off the helmet. Does it take does the cowl come down? It does. The bear head's getting in the way of the cowl. Alright, anyway. Yeah, it's not natural. Sorry. Why is it glowy? I'm wearing that item. Oh, you want me to sing a song about why my head is glowy? But that's not how the ditties work. The ditty's about the person. So, and myths and legends, one day, when you're playing Shroud of Avatar, you will get through those virtue quests, and your head too will glow like mine. Oh, myths and legends with the glowy head, walking through the land of Novia. No one knows what myths can ever do, but I'll tell you what, their head sure will glow. There you go, myths. That was your ditty. That's how you always use your ditty. Well, there, I gave you some tips on how your head can glow someday too, myths. Don't worry. I was saying something, and I don't remember what I was saying. Yeah, the virtue quests actually get really good. I really appreciate all of them. There's a lot in this game that's really cool. Like, this whole zone is really cool, too. It's a lot of, like, puzzles and things that you don't normally see in these kind of games at all anymore, like any games. And, like, most of the puzzles, like, some of the riddles I had to look up. But other than that, and the chess stuff I looked up, because screw chess. But other than that, like, I did all the other puzzles myself and, like, figured them out. And, very satisfying to be able to do that. It's very, like, old school kind of feel to it. But that's what I'm looking for sometimes. Like, I just... There are some traps in the game that I feel like could do more damage. Especially since I have, like, a health pool over 1,000. Like... You just, like, literally stand on top of, like, spike traps without any sort of consequence, basically. And it's like, well, your gear is breaking. I guess that's your punishment. Because the way the gear repairing in this game works, each time you use a scroll to repair it, you're bringing down the maximum durability a little bit. So eventually your pieces will become, or you can't use them anymore, basically. Which I think is great. It's a great way to keep the economy fresh with a player and economy. It does kind of suck, though, if you get, like, an item with, like, the perfect, like, stats on it, and then, like, you never see it again. I could see that being always chasing that perfect sword again. But I think it's great for, like, a crafting perspective. It's really neat. It gives you that whole, like, this piece that I created is the most legendary piece that I will ever create, and I'll never be able to create another one like it. Which is just really, really cool. Redeems hydrate. I don't have a hydrate, but I will hydrate. Come here, imps. Got a whirlwind for you. Oh. Thank you for that reminder. Whew. Alright, hold on. Oh, it looks like Nalabai just went live. Nalabai is doing some charity streams for the Transgender Legal Defense Fund, I want to say. Don't quote me on that if I got it wrong. So, like, if you want to definitely swing by and donate a couple dollars during, you know, this a month of Pride, I'm sure they would really appreciate it. If you want to let them know that I sent you their way, I wouldn't mind, but you don't have to. You could take water from the fountains, which I actually don't know what water does. Also, I apparently need to be in the fountain to be able to take water. I don't want a bucket of water. No, I'm good. Can I get buckets of water? No. The coins, no, I cannot drop them there. So. Girk, I know you never played Ultima Online, right? I can also wallow in the water. I don't know if there's a wallow emote. Good question. Is there a wallow? Nope, no wallow. I played Ed. Hour. I thought choking was really funny. Good one. You haven't alternate it up? Yeah, that's fine. The reason I really dig in this game is because it definitely scratches a lot of those like Ultima Online memories for me when I was younger. Playing that MMO in like 98, 99. Like, this game is skill-based. Every time you use an ability, it increases your skill in that thing instead of like having levels. Which I guess like Skyrim and like Elder Scrolls does too. But like, feels different. Good time. It's a good time. No. Light wore off. How dare. Sorry, I was just thinking about something. But yeah, I think E3 this year has been pretty lackluster, to be honest. And a lot of people are like, hey, COVID, which I think is fair. Like, I'm not trying to discount that, but at the same time, we didn't have an E3 last year. You would think there'd be like twice as many announcements or cool things to show off or something. And again, Far Cry game that I'm not really excited about, and Guardians of the Galaxy, which, we'll take a look at it when it comes out, but I'm not feeling super hyped about it right now. Some of the indies look good, but I can't think of, like, off the top of my head any of them that really jumped out at me that I could, like, name them right now for you. And I've watched a lot of... Oh! Did we get one? We got one. Did we do it? Did. Look at that, we got 2 pieces. 2 more pieces. Dun 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 dun. The dev teams. I mean, but okay, but like, so here's the thing, right? Like, and I get that, Myths. Like, again, I'm not trying to say like that's, but like, I'm the kind of gamer that I'm the kind of consumer. Maybe that's a better way to put it. Where, like, if I really, really, really like a movie, I'll sit down and I'll watch through, like, the director's commentary, right? I kind of like to see how the sausage is made a little bit. And part of that is when you have these industry events, like hearing from the industry people. And I feel like most of the press events this year, there have been, like, no developers on stage talking about their stuff. It's mostly just been pre-rendered trailers. And I kind of feel like AAA games are really broken right now. Like, an argument could be made that they've been broken for a couple years. And I think that'd be a fair assessment. Hey Stitch, thanks for stopping by. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen the Sky Oblivion streams, but I'm assuming, like, I want more of the personality of, like, the game. Like, okay, think about, like, I don't remember what year it was it 2018 or 2019? But there was that Ghost game. I'm drawing a blank on the name right now. Ghost of Tokyo, maybe. And you had that one presenter come out, and she became, like, the darling of, like, the show because she was just so earnest and, like, likable. Like, oh god, I did this wrong. You don't have any of those kind of moments when you literally don't show any devs off, right? And I think, like, the problem with the AAA stuff right now... Don't break the chest. Don't break the chest. Don't break the chest. Ghost of Tsushima. No, not Ghost of Tsushima. It's a game that hasn't come out yet. It is Ghost of Tsushima. I don't think so, though. It doesn't sound right. She's not at the studio anymore. She's at a different studio now. And they had her, like, come out to do, like, a press tour for the new game she's on. And she was just as, like, earnest and kind and stuff, whatever, as she was last time. He played it up, but I'm drawing a blank what the game was that they were promoting the first time. But anyway. Had a point. Like, I look at Assassin's Creed Valhalla, right? And I was definitely not excited about Assassin's Creed Valhalla when that came out. I was very tepid. I loved the early Assassin's Creed games. I bought every single one year over year, all the way up into Assassin's Creed 3, and then 3 is when they finally lost me. But even then, like, I really loved Black Flag, and I've kind of, like, sporadically played them after Black Flag, right? If it, like, I saw it, and it looked like it was really good, and, like, as an Assassin's Creed player, I really enjoy... I also need to play Rogue at some point. But I really enjoy the future story stuff. I think it's really neat. I think it's a great addition to that series, and it makes it more interesting and gives it a nice little twist, right? Of course, the games are like what basically made the Ubisoft Tower thing a thing. But that's neither here nor there. I got Valhalla because my graphics card came with a code for Valhalla. And it was one of these ones where it wasn't even a choice. It's just like, here's Valhalla for you. And otherwise, I would not have. I probably would have picked whatever the other game would have been in the voucher if I had been offered another game. Anyway. I loved Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I would still go back, and I would still love to play Assassin's Creed Odyssey right now. Like, I could stop this, and we could start playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey right now, and I would have a blast doing it. I could make a new save, start fresh. I could play the old save, whatever. I could dig it and have a really good time with it. Like 100% love that game. Like, Assassin's Creed Odyssey was a game changer. It was so good. It scratched so many good itches. Like, God, that game was fun. And wait, what game did I say? Shoot myths. I meant Odyssey. We go play Odyssey instead of this. Be better than watching me farm, I suppose. Like, look at the smile on my face. I'm talking about Odyssey, right? Like, and then I played Valhalla. And I liked the stuff in the real world that's early in the game. I thought that was cool. I appreciated it. It definitely hooked me from a modern day storyline stuff. I thought it was neat. And that's pretty much the only thing I could say about Valhalla that I liked. And I've complained about this on stream before. Bonfire pause screen for 30 minutes muted while I talked about my books. Alright, well, I'm cool. I'm glad you're okay with that. Very early in the game, they set some stakes for your character. Like, the opening stuff happens, and there's clearly, like, an antagonist they set up, and this whole kind of initial plot thing. And they do a really good job making you just like a specific character. And then the game starts proper, and you resolve that whole plot within, like, the tutorial section of the game. And, like, I don't think that it was necessarily strong enough to be something like the entire game you were chasing after. But it definitely did not feel satisfying to basically be like, this guy was an asshole to you, now take him out. And then you take him out, and it's like, haha, you did it. It felt like and like, there's some remnants of that plot left over that they definitely were planning on using later. But, like, it's not the same to be like, this character who is associated with that character still hates you for killing that character, so now you have to deal with that character. He's really the big bad. Like, that does not... You don't carry that negative feeling to him the same way you carry it to the first douchebag. And at that point, from a narrative perspective, I'm already set up to fail. Where I'm like, I'm already hating this. Like, this is not great. But I'm ranting about a lot of stuff that doesn't really matter. Because, like, the thing that I really hated about Valhalla, as opposed to Odyssey, was they got rid of the loot. Like, I understand in Odyssey, it's streamlined stuff. It's streamlined. And yeah, that one was good too. Well, I wasn't even gonna talk. So like, there's still grinding in Valhalla, but rather than grinding loot, you're grinding the same like mini game over and over and over again. Like the boat control system and all that kind of stuff in the game is really tight and neat. The raids are really fun the first couple times you do it. But the way you get resources for to expand your town, which, like, expanding your town is what gives you more quests. You have to do more raids of monasteries to get the resources that you need for that. And, like, the monasteries you can raid are dictated basically on what, like, level your character is effectively at that time. And so, like, you have to wait for them to, like, get loot to steal again, effectively. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good at all. Because, like, upgrading your town is... Like, the thing is, if I had gotten random loot from each of those raids, I probably would have been more into it. And I get why they did it. Because in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, you would get this loot. And you would take the loot, and you would upgrade your current set of gear. Legend I same great loot with 0 murder. Yeah. I mean, you murder the soldiers. You just don't... You can't kill the priests. Or I guess they were probably friars. Trying to be very careful with my thoughts here. Sorry. But okay, so I get it, because in Odyssey, there are like sets. And the set bonuses are very, very good. So, like, you're not gonna, like, once you get a set you really like, you're not gonna ever use any of the other non-set gear in the game, basically, right? But the way that you would, like, continue to keep that gear leveled with you is you would take gear that was, like, a higher, like, power level than the gear you were having, you would break it down, and then you would use those materials to upgrade your other gear to your current level. And so all that other loot was just materials to be fed into the giant grinder to upgrade your, like, sets and stuff. So there's a lot of extra steps involved there to keep the set you like current with everything else you have going on. You have to farm a lot of shitty gear, break it down, and then use those parts to keep your gear relevant. And in Valhalla, rather than having all those steps, they just go, well, every piece of gear is setted. And then when you, like, complete the set, like, that just gives you, like, a flat bonus, and there just, like, isn't... Well, there's still a leveling system, too, which is where my brain breaks a little bit, but basically it's, like, all percentage-based instead. And, like... Well, there's nothing like that in Valhalla. It's just a waste you don't have materials. You just have stuff to upgrade your town, and you only get that through pillaging. So, like... I get the streamline. Because effectively, if you're like, well, you're just going to use all the parts to upgrade your stuff anyway, why don't we just get rid of all the parts and you just have the, you know, the fully upgraded armor set? Call it a day. But in the last game, you gave me this incredibly diverse loot system. Because that's the thing, you kill so many people in Odyssey, and you get like a piece of armor from it, right? Even if it's a shitty piece of armor, like you still get something for your effort. There isn't those little micro rewards in Valhalla. Ah, the wrong guy. And that's where they lose me. You simplify a system to make it better, but in the process you remove something that made something give those little dopamine kicks throughout the game. Like, there's no reason to fight in Valhalla unless you're doing like a pillaging expedition to get the things you need. I didn't play Origins. My microphone actually was an Origins bundle, and I got a little card that gave me a code for Origins, actually. I think it's still sitting here. Yeah, it is. So, little promotional code from Origins, see? Not even scratched off. Because the code expired in 2018, and I bought this in like 2019. So... then you go to the website to try to redeem it, and it's like, sorry, this promotion has ended. So, just sits here, which is fine. Like, I got a good enough deal on the microphone that it was like still worth, without the game included. But yeah. So now I just keep it for spite, you know. Hey, Ubisoft, huh? Why don't I have my Origins, huh? Like, what the heck? Or Ubisoft, what you doing over there with your company and your scandals and making shitty games? Ah. And that's the thing, is like, I really like Watch Dogs, and I really liked Watch Dogs 2. And like, Watch Dogs Legion looks like a pile of crap, and then like, the one thing I loved in Watch Dogs 1 and 2, they took out of Legion, and like they're slowly adding it in, but as I know, like it's still not in there right now, which was like their Dark Soul like invasion mechanic. I thought that was such a great time in 1 and 2. Like, there's plenty of Ubisoft games that I really, really like. What baffles me when they get a decision like, let's just take out all these really cool RPG mechanics we had in Odyssey. And when we go to Valhalla, oh, we got a crit. Good. I can't kill these ghosts. I just don't. I don't hurt them. It's not great. You have not unlocked the tower in this area. No. Like, one of my friends was like, "You want to play Ghost Recon Wildlands?" I'm like, "No, I've climbed enough towers this year." I'm not wrong. Yeah, Child of Light and Rayman Origins are great. Rayman Legends is good too. Is that the one or whatever? So, yeah, I mean, like, there's plenty of like okay Ubisoft games. I just think AAA has issues, and I think it basically boils down to, it's a really hard thing to like talk and like really quantify, because like I'm 35 now, right? I don't have a lot of free time. Like, yeah, I played some of this over the weekend, and I played a ton of Satisfactory. Satisfactory? No, not Satisfactory. Shapes with a Z. I played so much Shapes with a Z over the weekend. It was ridiculous. I lost an entire day to it, basically. That was fine. Like, I haven't done that in a while. But my point is that I don't have, like, endless free time anymore to play stuff. And the one harsh reality that I'm starting to realize is that I'm not going to have that time until probably I retire. And I really have to start to prioritize, like, what I want to play when I have time to play it. Which has kind of always been the theme of this stream anyway. Like, I've never tried to, like, just play what was new and popular and stuff like that. If that was the case, I would have downloaded that demo for the Origin Final Fantasy game. We'd be playing that tonight. If they got that working finally, because I know there was a bunch of issues with it earlier, but... Yeah. My kids are really big into those games, but they also really like the platformer stuff, right? Yes! Progress! Little dopamine hit for getting the loot that I want. You should learn something, frickin' Assassin's Creed. What was I saying? I was saying something. Oh, my pool's not going down too bad, actually. Yeah, I don't like Sea of Thieves. I don't know. I think the Battle Pass is closer to what I'd like from Sea of Thieves. I haven't played it since the Battle Pass dropped. Battle Pass. Pirate Pass, or whatever. I do owe Cal Hill a pirate stream at some point. That's probably around the right time we should do it too, because, you know, there'll be a bunch of hype around it basically at that point. I feel like I'm wasting my time when I'm playing Sea of Thieves. Because the most fun thing to do in that game is to fuck with other players. Not even like PvP other players. Just fuck with them. I don't even care if you like do steal their stuff or whatever. No, I broke this chest. No, my circle's been broken. Ah. I clicked too rapidly last time, apparently. No! I'm fucked. That's not good. I forgot that he was on this side. No. Actually, we might be okay. He did get me with the deadly poison. There's another mimic there, too, but... So there's a Corpion over there, drawing a blank right now, what kind? Celestial, maybe? And he has a poison that can tick for like 200 damage a tick, and I have 1,000 health, so basically 4 ticks of that poison if it hits that high. It's a range from like 0 to 200, so it's not always 200, which is nice, but like 4 really bad ticks and I'm almost dead. And I can't purify that high of a level of poison, so... Yeah, I mean, that's probably fine. I don't enjoy, like, the collecting of treasure, though. Like, it's not fun. Like, when you turn all the treasure in at the end of, like, a long voyage, it's fine. I don't mind that. But I do not... I do not enjoy the loop. The primary gameplay loop. And with other people, it's a little more fun. But it's not fun because I'm playing Sea of Thieves with other people. It's fun because I'm hanging out with 4 or 3 other people that I like. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could be playing D&D with them, or I could be playing Uno, or I could be playing strip poker. Whatever the game is, doesn't matter. It's the fact that I'm socializing with 3 other people that makes that fun. And at that point, that's not fun for me, right? Like, that's not enough. If I could replace this activity with literally any other activity, You have not designed a good game or a game that I enjoy. You have created Uno, for lack of a better whatever, right? And I'll be fair, I haven't fought the Kraken. I haven't fought the super hard Ghost Pirate ships, or done any of the harder stuff in the game. So maybe that's where the fun for me would be, and I'm willing to try that. I have my Game Pass. I have access to Sea of Thieves. But everything I've ever played of that game, like being alone on a sloop, I love pirate games. I love Black Flag. I loved Pirates of the Burning Seas when that was an MMORPG that was still out there. I loved... There was another one. Sid Meier's Pirates. Love those games, right? Love Wind Waker. Love Wind Waker. I find it very boring to be on a sloop by myself for hours while I'm just collecting rubies, which is normally what I'm doing. I like the chest that fills your ship with water in Sea of Thieves. That I find fun, because then you have to do things while you're sailing a lot more than when you're just sailing. It makes the sailing way more interesting. And when Calhill refused to bring that one on board when they were doing the cherry stream, made me very sad, because that would have been an interesting thing for the rest of the voyage, with them fighting this chest that's constantly filling up their boat. That is fun. That is interesting. More of that stuff, I would love the game. And, like, different difficulties, I think, too, maybe. Like, I get that, like, different skeleton pirates, you need to, like, some of them you need to splash water on them first, or do other things to get them so they're vulnerable first, which I think is, like, a good little mechanic to, like, keep it somewhat fresh between skeleton pirate fights. That's not enough. I don't know. Still feels very samey. You learn the trick to beat them, and then it's just like, okay, I do this first, and then that's literally the only difference. I don't know. I really wanted to like that game. And again, some of like the goofy shenanigans and stuff you can get into are neat. But like, I can get into goofy shenanigans with my friends playing Uno, so. Imagine saying, well, you said the other activity as you rob a bank with Tom and Nat. Oh god. But Payday 2 is fun. But Payday 2 is fun even by yourself. Like, that's the key in my mind, right? Like, I never played Army of 2. But, like, Army of 2 is one of those games where it's like, if you had to, like, game is not explicitly fun because it's co-op. Oh, is that another one? Damn, okay. Damn. Yeah! Army of 2. Kane and Lynch. You know what I mean? Like, there's a bunch of those that are designed to just be fully co-op. And, like, I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. I think those indie ones more recently, the one where you're breaking out of prison with 2 players, or It Takes Two. There's another one too with two brothers, right? Is that another one of those? I think those games are different because there's like heart to them, and there's like a story they're trying to tell, which is stronger when there's somebody on the couch with you as an emotional like connection to what's happening, right? And I really feel like those games are designed to be like sat on the couch and played through. Like, it's different than, like, broing out. You're being clever. Oh, no. I'm gonna go AFK here for just a second. I'm gonna go to the bathroom quick. I'll be right back, and you can continue to hear me complain about everything, I guess, tonight. It's a Sargado complain-a-thon stream. Yeah, Way Out is emotional. I've heard good things about Two Brothers. I heard that It Takes Two is a little heavy-handed with some of its thoughts, which is unfortunate, being somebody that went through divorce with kids. Because, yeah, there's definitely some... I don't know what their point is, but if it's handled poorly, it could be a big problem, in my opinion. And I'll be right back. Just stay chilling, chat. Oh, okay. Give me bits. Ah, headphones backwards. Did not eat 15 subs. Couple is fine with getting a divorce and they don't hate each other. They just want what's best for their daughter. The loving relationship book forces them to stay together and fights as toys until they agree to not get a divorce. It feels like it happened. See, and that's exactly what I was afraid was going to happen, Myths. That was going to be the... Man, like, it's been one of those, like, weeks where I'm really talking about much more serious topics and talking about my real life a lot, much more, so... I mentioned this earlier in Deer's chat. And, like, I don't particularly like to go into this topic. But now you, like, triggered me. So, like, you know, definitely going there. I think staying together, basically specifically for the children, is admirable. But, like, sometimes there are just incompatibility issues that don't rear their heads until late, or somebody makes a decision that you can't come back from. And the best thing for the children is legitimately to end the marriage, you know? I've never had a problem because I'm divorced. I've always had problems because of the way that it happened. Oh, you're fine, Myths. It was a very rough time. And my kids got put through some situations that I wish they hadn't had to have been put through. And one of the hardest things for me is that I know if I had to go back and I had to do it all over again, specifically the divorce part, as much pain as I put myself through, as many nights as were the worst traumas that... And I've dealt with some pretty big traumas in my life previous to all that, but the worst traumas in my life. I wouldn't have done anything differently. Not really. Maybe some specific things. But the overall theme would have been the same. And a big part of that is just that I needed to... That was the closest thing I could do to get closure, basically, on the situation. Was to really be who I am. And part of really being who I am is fighting until the end. Like, none of my friends got it. I think they still don't. But I am who I am. And that's somebody who basically forgave everything. I think the most important thing in a situation, especially where there's kids, and I think that's a really challenging concept for a lot of people that are going through divorce. But afterwards, like, you're in a situation where you have to co-parent and you still have to deal with this person on a regular basis. And you're not going to have the influence over them to make them bow and kowtow to you like you used to. And so being ready to compromise and come together on some very fundamental things is only going to benefit you in the end. And that's not a lesson that I learned. So that was me with my big first series of PTSD stuff, looking back and seeing how you did all you could and did everything right and gave people more excuses than they should ever deserve. Yeah. Like, I don't know, there's been a couple times, like, since I got divorced where my friends have, like, brought me their friends that are, like, going through hard relationship times and be like, dude, man, you gotta tell this person to, like, divorce that person or whatever. Right? And my answer is always, like, they'll know when they have to leave or when it's over or whatever, or more importantly, when they're ready to end things. Like, it's not for me to swoop in from the outside and say, hey, from my perspective, blah, 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 blah. Like, that's not whatever. Like, in my opinion, it's much better to be there as their friend and support them. And then when they make that decision, like, maybe you do have an attorney lined up and maybe you do have some contacts that might help and stuff like that. But, like, you can't force that stuff. And for the person in that situation, like, they need to do what they need to do to feel closure, I guess. Certainty. I didn't realize how bad things were for me until maybe 2 years, 3 maybe, after the divorce was finalized. And I was taking a shower. This is not a persona. Not in the sense of like I would be more. I mentioned this earlier into your stream as well. I would be more reserved if you met me in person, right? I'm generally a little socially adverse, right? I have social anxiety, I would still talk to you. I would still say the same things. I would still be as upfront and vocal to you as I am right now. But I realized, I was taking a shower one day and I realized that day that I do things. I care about things. I care about people because I do. There isn't anything behind it. There isn't anything that I'm trying to gain from it. I see something and I work towards it, or I'm nice for the sake of being nice, because that's the way that I would want to be treated. I am kind and gentle and giving because those are the things that I want to see in the world, and those are the things that I can do to contribute to it. And that's me. And it took like 2.5, 3 years to realize that that isn't the worldview of everyone else. Specifically, my ex thought that everything I did to be kind, that everything I did to be nice, all the giving and the compromises and gifts were there to manipulate. That my genuine feelings, the genuine things that I care about, the person who I am, to them, it was all just deception. They thought I was lying about everything. All the time. And that hurt. That hurt real bad. Sometimes people aren't supposed to be together. Sometimes you can't make it work. Like if somebody doesn't fundamentally understand who you are after 12 years. Also, I'm the kind of person that like will tell you to your face if you're doing something that bothers me. Thanks, Greg. Thanks, Beck. You're making the coldest brew? Oh yeah. So I apologize for getting real. But I definitely don't apologize for being me anymore. Maybe, Greg. But I sure can be better. I have not been looking at guild chat at all. What have I missed? I gave Kaz that polar bear head right at the beginning of the stream. And apparently he said thank you. Like immediately. Ugh. I do have bear ears, yes. I'm wearing a bear head as my helmet right now. And I have the aura of the Avatar because I have received the Shroud for completing the virtue quests. Did not play? Hold on a second. I heard a gasp, like when something was starting, and then it just didn't go. That's fun. Yeah, it shouldn't have done the default sound effect, though. I definitely heard, like, the... Hold on. Why do we always gotta troubleshoot this every time it happens? It's because it doesn't happen enough. There's no easy way to, like, test a specific bit alert, I don't think. Can we play that, please? What are you doing to me, Sam? Alright, hold on. Event box. Properties. Oh, bits. Do 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 do. Hello. Hello. Did you do 505? It's 504. That's why. Does the reminder say 505 or 504? Alright, hold on. I think I could kick one off manually. Because I knew what you're trying to do. I think it's set right. I think I got these to work previously. Let me just double check this one's set right. Alright, now how do I test it? It's... No, not... I want you to run this specific one. Streamlabs. Any of these, please? That's a face. It is a face. It's actually a map from Final Fantasy XIV. That kind of looks like a Gorngle, so I was like, this is neat. Let's take a screenshot of that and use it for something. Every once in a while I have those kind of ideas. How do I get this to play? Also, you should show the messages. Why aren't you showing the messages? Hey, Gorgle face. Greg? Yeah, they steal my gold too, so gotta be careful to kill them kind of quick. All right. I could set it temporarily to the right to 505 and then rerun it. That might work.
No, I am your father.
Ow. It's awkward every time. Okay, let's fix that. Back to... There's only one setup for the donations right now, though, because I have to set up like a separate alert pane. And somebody told me that on the web it's easier to mess around with some of this stuff. So one of these days I'll have to do that. But, yeah. Thank you very much for those 505 bits. That's really a lot of bits, Myths. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate it. It's like easier to copy them and stuff, I guess, over there. So one of these days I'll have to do that. Because trying to use the like in-app thing is a pain to configure a bunch of different alerts. I don't remember how many I recorded, but I recorded quite a few lines from Star Wars, and so for the bits, it looked like I had like 6 or 7 of them configured. For donations, I only have 1 because it's a lot of work to get that all working. And honestly, like, I would rather be streaming in time that I have time to... I mean, like, that's stuff I can mess around with when the kids are here. Is, like, Streamlabs stuff, right? But... Got a banner. Nice. I have 10 Dragon Skull recipes. Let's use that. Another bear headdress, not by a person I care about. Copper knife is also not by somebody I care about. We got 2 polar bears so far. Just 1. Oh, we got 2. Sweet. Okay. I'd like to get 1 or 2 more, potentially. We're gonna break this chest. Oh no. Desktop app stopped working with 2 alerts years ago. Oh no. Your cold brew is settling. I don't know what that means in the sense of cold brew. I've never cold brewed before. Oh. I mean, I've drinking cold brew, I just never made it. I bought it from people. I'm like, I am far superior to you in every way. I shall give you currency in exchange for cold brew. Peasant. And then, like, the Starbucks barista gives me the cold brew, you know? Oh, it's a set for... Okay. Got it. So that's like the brew process then, eh? We'll do one more wave of... We'll do one more wave of, imps, and then we'll probably head back. I would like to get one more rug, but, you know, it is what it is. I can always come back and do more of this later. We're probably just gonna go to the other farming place that, like... So one of my guildies is very specifically trying to work on, like, one crafting recipe, and he needs a ridiculous amount of an incredibly rare item. And so I spent, like, my entire Saturday, which was actually really relevant for me because at the time that I was working on this stuff, my skills were, like, just about where they needed to be to fight the stuff there, so it was, like, really effective for me combat-wise. I think there's only, like, one wave now that's still a challenge for me over there, but, like, still, like, it's decent XP for me. Like, if I can help somebody get something, I'm happy to do it. Make bitter and other warmish areas. Awake okay crude brew, but if you may forget them too long and forget to chill them, kill the brewing process. Got it. So happy that I got some mounted gallop speed. Oh, what? Fish. Okay. It's much cheaper than buy. I mean, like, everything is much cheaper if you make it yourself, right? For the most part. Oh, well, that's fair. I would like mine to be black, so I don't need additional flavoring. Thank you very much. Just let me stare darkly into the abyss. I shall be of joy. Okay, no imps over here. Over here? Oh, okay. Let's see here. And yeah, I mean, it might. Break the chest. Break the chest. Break the chest. But these mimics are the only thing here that are, like, decently challenging for me. But since you can only take them... Well, I mean, I guess I could activate the two and then fight them. But... I probably should go to the north. Probably at that point where I need to, like, consider doing that. But then I can't farm this other stuff that I'm trying to farm. That's the eternal trade-off, isn't it? Items you want or the skills you want. Yours is hazelnut with a small dash of Mexican jitter juice. Nice. Mint and chocolate, so it'd be like an Andes candy coffee. That'd be really good, I think. They might think you're a spy from a rival restaurant or something. That's funny. Hopefully you're not actually a spy from them, but... Dang it, where is it? Dang it! Dang it! No! Let's try to go quick. There was one more thing, wasn't there? I'm wasting his time. Anyway, sorry, I'm teasing him. Alright, so we have to go through here and we have to find all the stuff that this guy made. Because he's doing like a contest right now. To like clean up the realm is the joke. Oh, there's one. I did have a set from him. I knew it! Bear. Headdress. Rug. And I'm showing everyone how I've been like grinding all this, but like whatever. If you really want to go take it from me, you may take it from me at this point. Those are all whatever. And these are both from someone else too, right? Yeah, this Dorn Slate. I can't actually like... Yeah, okay, I don't think so. Scandalous American chocolate. If you want good chocolate, I get Toblerone, but it's too good to put in coffee and not have it work. Yeah, that's fair. So I'll get you chocolate syrup to put in coffee. Hershey's makes chocolate syrup too. I mean, I like Hershey's chocolate syrup for making like chocolate milk, but I don't know how it'd be in coffee. He's asking who the other ones are made by. You can make much better syrups than Hershey's. Alright. Dagger. Oh, just double check on these as I'm chucking stuff in here. Chuck the stuff in. And I can like vendor sell this stuff, but I'm more interested in trying to get the skill gains. And I've got like 3 million, I think, crafting XP like in my thing, so we have a pretty decent chance of like actually developing skills. Yeah, I'm 72 now. Blacksmithing. And I have not crafted a single thing. All the XP I've gotten has been from salvaging crap. Ugh. Does Kinder making melting or baking chocolate? I don't know if Kinder does. That's a good question. Also, I get those patterns for the rusty pieces, which I definitely want to use someday. But not that one. This one. Yeah, so like myths, you'll gain from finishing the. There's EXP rewards that you gain every quest you turn in, and then at the end of the line, that might be worth saving. At the end of the line, you will get a big boost as well. I already have a bunch of serving plates. Let's break a couple of those down. No. Great. Maps again. So, like, like, each pool gets affected by that. So you'll end, if you do all the main quest lines, with something like almost 2 million crafting EXP, even if you don't do any crafting type stuff. But you should, if you see anything that can be harvested, you probably should be harvesting it. So metal scrap, as far as I know, the biggest use for it is increasing the efficiency of creating metals. I'll show you in just a second. Hold on. My carpentry is at 89. I have made a table, so use that. You've been hoarding cotton and pelts? Heck yeah. Also, the act of crafting on those materials will also give you EXP. So, like, processing things and stuff also adds to your pool. So, I don't know if salvaging does. But, like, if you take the leather and you convert it in, or the hide and convert it into leather, for instance, you get EXP there. So, if you go to the smelter... Yeah, I mistyped. Okay. So, like, here's an iron ingot, right? And it takes 4 iron ore and a chunk of coal, and the mold is like a tool. It has uses to work on that. But if you have iron scrap, which I have some, but I have a bunch more in my bank, you reduce the amount of ore by half. So you only need 2 iron ore and then 12 metal scrap, and then you can make 1. Yeah, the molds. Hey, Jen. I've depressed chat significantly earlier, so there's that. Anyway. Well, that's something. You're not wrong. I'm gonna double check these as I throw them in, because there were a couple of these that were made by Kagi that I found previously, so... Oh. Light armor, though, which I'm not using right now. The banner I want is why not all these dang scrolls. I don't even know if I was able to break these down last time, but... Oh my god, belts. Yeah, my understanding is every time that somebody sells something to the vendor, it basically enters the loot table, and that's how you get it off of, like, random drops. But only, like, certain monsters, or, like, humanoids generally, carry a lot of this kind of junk. So, but I found that imps are really good at it, so. Do you want my even vanity sar? Humanoid, yeah. Hey, hola, French guy. Thanks a lot for that follow. Really appreciate it. Getting me one step close to 500. Event vanity? I mean, I'm good at the moment, myths, but... How you doing, French guy? I don't think imps are humanoid though, but you know. What do I know? I just live here. Look at all that beautiful scrap. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Kaz, answer my question. Okay. Appreciate it. What did I miss here? Hold on. About to be full AFK. What? I just want to double check this. You never go full AFK, chat. Anyway, what was I saying? I was saying something. I was ranting about something. Event vanity. What did you mean by event vanity? Myths, I guess. I'll start with that. If it's like your login bonus thing, like those, I believe, are kind of desirable sometimes because of like the nature of like you only get one when you log in, basically. Because I think the one I had from, I think somebody was telling me the one I had from January is going for like 300,000 gold on the marketplace right now. Again, because you only get like the one, so. A mirror and a table vanity from like, yeah. So like I would either like hang on to it or like if you don't want it, try to give it to somebody who can give you some money for. I don't have any money. Not much. I got like 20,000 gold. And like 10 of that was from me killing imps just a little while ago. The way I'm gonna vendor some stuff here in a second, hopefully. Hopefully. Wall banker. Oh, excuse me. Goes in here. That goes in here. Goes in here. Can I get rid of this? I don't care about this. Go away. Out of here. Bye. Alright. Okay, it actually stacked everything up nicely. That's good. Alright. Any ore. Sometimes my bank doesn't like to stack stuff nicely. Nickel over there. Some iron over there. Alright, what else do we need to get out of here? Those need to go in the box. I don't think I need to throw 12 Dragon Skulls recipes in the box. Oh no! What have I become? What have I become? Oh. We did get a couple things I can decorate with. Oh, I don't think I have this one yet. Oh, I don't have enough alchemy yet. Whoops. Okay. Does Quiver got anything good on it? Nope. I don't think there's anything else in here that I'm super concerned about throwing in my bank. Guess those can go in for now. Along with the Lich ones. slime oozes can go in there. That's probably fine. Yes, I apologize to everybody here. My inventory is ridiculous, and I am sorry for that. But this is what happens when you just... What was I going to do? Recipes. Let's do recipes first. Which I don't think I should walk all the way back over there again. Streaming, we need to be efficient in doing things, or at least talking about things. I stopped talking about things a while ago for some reason. I don't know why. Town Square, let's go. Let's get ready to rumble. Alright. Throw like 2. Because I think I already had some. Yeah, okay. Here for that. This can go. This can go. Go. Wait, how many do I have? 50. I have 50. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, we can learn that one. We learn this one? No. Alchemy is not high enough yet. And both of these can go. Alright, patterns! Alright. We did it. We've aided... Oh, okay. My brain is breaking. That's so fun. Oh wait, I missed what. Sorry, reading through chat. All right. I don't remember what I was doing. Don't remember at all. Simple syrup creamer for the next week made. Caramel chocolate creamer this week. The issue I have making chocolate syrup is getting all the chocolate powder smooth. I could see that being a problem. Where am I going? House. House is this angle. I know where my house is in relation to the shops. not in the town itself. We'll get there, but that really boring one back there, that's me. No, that's not me. That person has like the cool exposed roof. That's me. That's the boring house that I have. The boring house. The boring house is... God, his boring house. MMO priorities, right? Well, that's really the thing. There's like 3 things to this game. There's like 3 playstyles. You got adventuring, you got crafting, and you've got decorating your house. So, and like, I'm not good at any of them. I also dislike that it always turns off your lights when you're gone. The ones that are like built into the house. Because like that extra little bit of light sure helps, but whatever, it's fine. Okay. Now there's a couple things that I saw that I want to get in here right away before I forget about them. I got all these dang blank whatever, so we gotta sell that stuff. The banner. Banner! Might be too long for that. I might need to go outside. Okay. I don't have a basement, so I can't place this in here, I'm pretty sure. But I think that's actually worth a little bit of money. Large rusty pot, baby. Finally got one. A brown square jar. That's less exciting. I thought there was something else. Oh, the trophy. That's right. That's cool. Very happy with that. But let's put it against like this other wall, so. And remember, you don't want stuff to be at like the same level, the same distance. You got to add some variety there, so the eyes are drawn everywhere they're looking. You know, it's really key. So. Would mixing a neutral oil and powder together in a skillet help mix it better? Oh, you're talking the pick. Gotcha. All right. I have another Gaia's heart. Throw that on the table. What is this? Oh, that's the Ringmaster's vest. Which I guess, like all these artifacts that I don't really care about, I could like start throwing places too, I suppose. Wand of Lightning. But I had a belt too somewhere. Not seeing it. Maybe belts can't be hung. Kind of makes sense, maybe. Alright, well, that was less stuff than I thought it'd be, but whatever. We're getting there. We're throwing random garbage we're finding in the trash all over the house. Good time. Good time. Alright, banner.
Puny banner.
Can I hang the banner like over my door? That'd be great. Ah, yes. Good banner. Don't like that that wood is poking through there, though. I like was slightly higher up to get it off of that. Yes, I have a blank banner. Hooray! Yeah, that's something. I think I have a painting outside the house too, just to have something on the outside. And then I have a couple things at my other house too, because like, you know, you can't have the house be completely empty either, so, you know. This music reminds you of Leighton music? Yeah, I can see that. Right click on the candles and select always on. Dang it! Thanks, Submarine Mike. Really appreciate that pro tip. Fortunately, I've already left. I don't know where I'm going though. But I already left. I'm finding a vendor to just junk everything at. Which I don't really know how to do well with that, so we're just going to go to this guy over here. Crafting merchant. We're just going to sell everything to him. It's fine. Don't care. Just want my inventory clean. Valor. Also, I don't know what... Yeah, I know my home is in the U circle, but I like to walk. Walking. Walking. Alright, hold on a second. I need... Oh, the Lost Veil is open. Oh. Kagi leave town. Yep. Blood fountain. Does that mean I can fill up blood here? No. Why am I lagging? I know why I'm probably... Well, it hasn't been that long, though. I've only been playing for like 2.5 hours. Client should be croaking on me yet. Boom, 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 boom. So, oh, what did I just... No, I don't want to use the smelting station right now. No. Although I probably should. Probably that EXP, but... Here we go. Alright, there's so many. Ooh, look. This is the town hall. I haven't been here yet. It's the guild hall? Well, you know what we need to do, chat. If I thought the answer was explore it, I mean, maybe, but more importantly, we gotta get to the roof. If we can, it might be locked. So many dragon heads. Is that like a dance floor? Heck yeah. Every guild hall needs a dance floor. Like a throne, just some boxes of them. Hey, you wanna play some cards? You wanna play some 3-card Monte? What's up? Oh, it's now locked. Alright, can I get up to the last level though? Probably not. A ladder somewhere. Ladder. Nope, no ladders for me. Oh, there's definitely a walkway up there though. Is it in the little... That's a ladder down. That's a ladder up. I'm dumb. Hi, chat. I'm dumb. Nice to meet you. Okay. Whoa. Well, I didn't die. That's disappointing. Bum bum ch, bum bum ch, bum bum ch, bum. Okay, well, I asked if that was enough. Didn't get a response, so guess we'll see. All right. What was else I gonna do? I need to fix my sword. That's the next thing I need to do. I do have some of those repair kits though on me, I believe. Oh, typing. Except for I'm on housing. That's the problem. Fix of sword. This one? Yeah, this one. Yeah. Okay, now let's go to here. Swords is blacksmithing. Cool. I'm dumb. I'm dead. Damn this. You got me with the dad joke. Unreal. All right. Here now. Did I not fix the sword I need to fix? I thought this was the one that was new. That one's also nearly broken. Great. Hello, hardened skeleton mage. Can I kill you now? Is that all your friends becoming a problem on me? Alright. And this guy here. No. Archers are the worst. Nothing to run from them. Don't really need to kill these guys. I could theoretically just run past them, but it's more just to see how much stronger I've gotten. Because, like, skeletons suck. Ghosts are the worst, though. I can't figure out how to kill them at all with, like, a sword build. Like, even if I let my swords on fire, it's like, ugh, why? Come back here, I want to punch you in the face. Come back! I'm out of focus, which isn't great. Gotta sit here and auto attack for a second. Yeah. All that hot rend action with swords, eh? One. We did it. We got it. Got it, chat. Alright. Let's just get what we're trying to get. Thanks, Mike. Crap. That one's yellow to me. Always remember to send your platforms back down, chat. So one of the things I really enjoy in this game is like the hazards and stuff like that. The spike tracks are kind of lame because they don't seem to do enough damage to really be a threat to me currently. And I don't think if you have like a decent amount of health, they really are. They slow you down and stuff, which kind of sucks and some other things, but like they're not like a huge threat. But there's definitely things in the game that are threats. One of them is up here. I'm going to show it to you. I think it's cool. And I really like it. Makes me happy. Nope, not that one. I think it's the next one. When you're crossing certain catwalks sometimes. Or rope bridges. Not gonna happen. Oh, there it is. They can break. Like, it would suck to fall down there and have to go all the way around again to get back up here. You might die from the fall, too. I don't think I would. I think I have enough health that I can make this fall. But I just think that's really, really cool. This part would definitely. That one would have been a problem. I love beautiful. How you doing? All right. We approach. We make spirits Angie. Those are getting that way. Hi. My name is Sargato, and I'd like you to meet my twin swords. They don't have names, because I'm bored, but I would like you to know. And that's right, I was watching somebody do this. And, like, hugging the tower seemed like a good way to pull them together. Rather than what I was trying to do and use the... I was trying to use the shrine to do that, but, like, I guess it wasn't blocking their geometric patterns enough for the air elemental waves. Ring of Air. 13 gold. Why must I fight so many things without blood? Get that sword put away as quickly as possible, because the next wave is going to spawn right away. Want to get some of that nice non-combat regen going on before we have to engage all these friends of ours. We get one more tick. One more? Yeah. Cool. You get another one? Can I get greedy? The answer is yes, I can get greedy. Alright. As long as we don't get knocked down. Safety potion. Yeah, it almost made me look like I knew what I was doing there. Nice to meet you, Earth Elemental. I'm Sargato. That sword away. Hi friends, how's it going? Well, that's what happens when I don't use my wolf potion, huh? We might not have enough focus to make this actually, like, viable, so... I'm going to be very picky about what abilities I use. Very picky indeed. Game. Seriously. My heavy armor skill went up. Hype! Auto attack the day away. Yeah, it's more of a problem. You might have to run. Yeah. All good news is the air elementals are kind of weak, though. Apparently they're gonna hit me with all the knockbacks in the world, though, right now. Boy, come back here! I want to coop you. Or coup de grace? Coup de grace. My goodness gracious. All them knockbacks. Yeah, we might have to be. We're gonna be aggro. Well, we're gonna try Diego. Apparently I might die before that happens. Because I need more focus! Do I need more focus? Maybe I don't need more focus. It was at that moment he realized that he did in fact need more focus. Alright, run! Unlike your life depends on it, because it most likely does. Just give me like 2 seconds to catch my breath, guys. Alright. Glancing blow. Come on, sorry, get your face in the game. Don't glance when you can prance. I can break sight on you. You'll come a little closer to me. No. That's like what I've tried doing before. I gotta use the big tower. The Colossus itself. I have learned the error of my ways. And it was good. Alright. So the last wave, which is like a fun wave, because it's got a little bit of everything. Like, you like earth elementals? We got that for you. You like sand elementals? We got that for you, too. You like those air elementals? We got those in spades. I am in the troubles. Hello, friends. I'd like to show you the Colossus. This is the first spot on our tour. It's also the only spot on our tour. It was created a long time ago by peoples, and they believed in a thing. Let's do one of these, I guess. One of those. Do another one of those. It's kind of hard for me to judge if I'm doing okay right now, if I'm getting my butt kicked. That's okay. We'll just keep spinning to win. How are we doing EXP wise? We're still losing a little bit. Probably need to turn off something. Since the work strike and Orgrimmar, yeah, right. This scratches a very specific center of my brain of like enjoyment, because I used to play a Dexter when I used to play Ultima Online primarily. It was my main. And like farming for elementals in earth elementals in one of the dungeons, I'm blanking on the name right now, was like my go-to whenever I needed to farm for monies and stuff. And I never ended up going to a vendor and selling crap. Damn it. It's fine, I got plenty of like strength to carry it all, but inventory is gonna be such a hot mess when I'm done. I used to go and fight those elementals in like that dungeon, which I'm drawing a blank on right now. Again, the name. Had scorpions in it as well, and those scorpions like were a death knell for me for the longest time. Until like you get your healing skill high enough that you can cure poison with bandages, basically. Then it became a lot better. But up until that point, like it was an incredibly risky venture for me to take. And yet that's where I gained like most of my levels of stuff, so. No, not Black Rock Mountain. Not World of Warcraft. Yeah, so all I got is Ring of Air. Common, no less. There's that belt. And there's a necklace, you know, ability, so. Oh, you're fine. It was. That's not right. That was the one. The Starred was the dungeon. This takes me back. Ah, Hyloth. Sorry. Okay, so the little things are back. I can go again. Do all the buffins. Make sure you eat your puffins. Make sure you do the rage. No. I I not anger them by getting close enough? And I'll do my second set of buffs again. Can I touch the stone maybe? Is that what I need to do? Like, there we go. Hi guys. I heard you like Colossuses. Colossi. So I wanted to get you a Colossi in your Colossi. No, in World of Warcraft, the elementals I remember were eventually changed because they were too broken by like the game developers, and like I don't know, it's a weird thing to me, but there were elementals in Thousand Needles that in like vanilla that had water resistance and earth resistance. Yeah, that sounds right. They were like sludge elementals, if I remember correctly. Oh, I wasted way too much focus on that wave. And they, as a shaman, which was what I was playing at the time, the only ability that you had that it could hurt them, oh god, was flame shock. And so you would, it would take a while to fight them. And I believe, if I remember correctly, it was required for like a shaman-specific quest too. So, like, the developers intended you to fight these things. And, like, nature resistance is a huge pain in the butt for a lot of classes in that game, because, like, shamans are affected by it because all their lightning spells fall under that. I believe druids have abilities that also attack the nature damage. Was there one more? I thought there was at least one more that got affected by that somehow. But I might be wrong. I don't remember things. It's fine. But yeah, sitting there waiting for your flame shock to proc, and then proc and proc and proc and proc. Can I put this away? Okay, thank you. Okay. 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 I am kiting with the ring of fire. I went down, 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 kited so much higher. But yeah. Alright, I'm actually gaining EXP again. So again, this is still a decent place for me to farm. Which is good. Happy to hear it. It's not probably a great place. Partnering up with somebody and having them show me some of the harder content would probably be better, but then I can't get the item that I'm looking for. So. It's all about those items, you know? I do like that the sand elementals give you a black pearl for each one, though. When I was doing this the other day, I mean, probably a good indication of how many I just killed, but I had like 600 black pearls by the time I was done. On focus. Probably means I need more int. So I should probably start training int. But I don't know how like the stats stuff works in this game. I should probably look. Or if I just need better int items to like fill the gap. That could also be. Right? Like, get around here maybe. No. Don't die, sir. You can do it. We're gonna drink a potion to make sure, though. Ren going. Hopefully we'll parry a little bit here. Run away! Bum ba bum ba bum ba bum ba bum bum. Those healings out there. Good, good. My mounted range is up, yep. Shoot, I should have comboed that one. Wasn't paying attention, there we go. Slam the potion. I probably should build a deck specifically for spin to winning stuff. A lot like their posts and stuff. But I know if you get the parry off and then you do that, it's pretty good. I don't know. Oops. Oh, good. I used up the rest of my focus to an attack into a wall. Oh, if you want to see some amazing Sargato content, that's pretty much what I do right there. One single move. Oh, did I just eventually level up? I think I did. That was the big ding. 76, baby! I'm going to become the strongest Sargato in the entire land. Prime Sargato. And I'll do it by slaughtering air elementals at this Colossus. Whew. Okay. Okay. Alright, it's like morning time. So chat, if you could remind me. I understand if you don't. When this here in the center says midday, I need to do something. Again, it's okay if you forget to remind me, but if you catch it, and I haven't caught it yet, let me know. Did I already check this one? I did not. Maplewood! Bum 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 bum. Oh, okay. Let's see what we got. I don't think we got anything we care about. Is that a flippin' mosquito? How did you get in my house? Yeah, I just got a. Did I get another ring away? No, it's the first ring here that we got. So we only we've only got one artifact so far. Oh, it's good. Perfect. Why am I doing this again? Right. Gaining skills. Potentially helping people. Okay. 96. I should look up stats. And also I need to fix my sword. Da 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 da. We're over 30,000 again. That's good. Okay. Sounds like there's no reason I couldn't theoretically have int raising as well right now, but if I do that, then I will definitely see a dip in the progress of my other stuff. I don't want that. So, we'll wait, and I'll just try to be more efficient. More thoughtful about my stuff. Character stance is last because it makes me have to fizzle. More. Thank you, Shrine Guardians, for noticing me standing here. I appreciate it. Let's just tap all this off again, so I have it as long as possible. And like the other good thing is I don't have to use like a bunch of other buff potions to get this done. Just my standard, what will be the basis of my buff deck currently. I feel like I'm missing some critical skills for that. Ring of Air. Damn, mosquito, damn. Look at there. I have no idea what I'm doing today. That's alright. Yeah, still used a lot of focus. I think we'll be okay. Just dodge some of these earth elementals for a second. Oh god. You got me going the other direction. Finally rooted me. Okay, come on, please. Maybe? Alright. I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. Yeah, I don't think this would be possible for me if I was wearing light armor right now. Spam jump to break the root. I think I need that for spiders. I guess I didn't know that worked for elemental guys too. That's good to know. Thank you for the tip. Get ready to hear the sweet, dulcet tones of a mechanical keyboard's spacebar being slammed. Wait, should these be sand elementals? There's another wave of earth elementals. Oh, you're fine, Vesper, sort of. By the way, I think I may have said this the other day if you popped in chat, but, like, you have a fantastic name. Come on, Earth Elementals. So I don't have any focus potions pulled out because it hasn't really been an issue for me up to this point. Did I get a second wave of Earth Elementals for some reason? I think I might need to pull out focus potions. Unless we can keep this up. You guys doing okay back there? You getting that cardio in? You having a good time back there? Just 20 more miles, guys. I have trouble doing this while I'm running, but sing a little ditty. A little ditty about mending my health. Nope. Wasn't paying attention. That was a root, not a knockout. I mean, but why would I consider doing it out of battle when I could just do it right now, right? I'm just being silly. The wave of the air elemental guys now. Nope, 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 I don't want, nope, nope, nope. Yeah, I suck at grouping these guys up. I moved past that one. Whoops. Work for that one, right? There we go. Worked it out. There's two of them stacked up over here. Pot. Is the interface a stab? Yeah, we'll do it between the waves. We have that downtime for a second while we're waiting for it to reset. Still in morning. Heck yeah, strength. Heck yeah, dexterity. God, can we, like, not die, please? Thank you. Oh. It does feel very action hero to put your sword away and have them die from the rend damage. No! Got a hit on me, no. Yeah, I was not. So it's been a couple of days since I've been here. But I did not have this sort of like focus economy issues. So definitely I'm using more focus from getting those skills up the higher levels, which is good. But also means that I need to be more considerate of my focus going forward when I'm trying to do big old pulls like this, which is something I haven't had to do up to this point. That. And that. And then do this. That. That. Look at that big hit. That felt good. That, I guess. And do that. Do that. Do that. I gotta say though, like I absolutely love the combat in this game. It's a real shame that it's got a good blend of like action and got targety stuff. When like you're pulling off the stuff just right, it feels real good. Red is better for a lock socket. All right. That makes sense. I do need to get rid of all my buff stuff and throw that into a separate deck at some point. I've just been too lazy to have to deal with all that right now. And as I was leveling all those skills, it was easier just to hit them like anytime there was a moment of downtime. Back when I didn't have to worry about focus. Now that I have to worry about focus, it's more like, God, no, I don't want to use them. That's good. One more. Earth Elemental. Yes, good point. I don't have any food going right now. And I just realized I haven't bought any more pumpkin soup since I ran out last time. I think I have some trout on me right now, though. Which, that's a good point. The trout would actually be really good for the focus. Yeah, salmon and trout, potentially. In my bag. Down here somewhere. Potions and food. It's my last salmon? Oh, I guess I am a trout. I guess I ate all my trout. Dang it. Okay, well, I need to go buy I need to buy food after this. Yeah, I couldn't find any dragon stew when I was looking though. Although I didn't look too hard. Only a couple towns that I like know that there's active players in. And yeah, the pumpkin stew obviously being a big deal. I think I have the recipe to make pumpkin stew now. I just haven't done it yet. Yeah, I mean that's fine. Yeah, thank you. No, I don't think that would spoil my fun. Just don't go overboard on it, okay? Somebody was like, "Here, let me help you with this," and then later I realized they gave me like way significantly more of the item than I thought they did. See if they're in chat. I can call them out by name. They are not. Okay, cool. Like, yeah, I don't want. Like, I think I talked about this the other day when I was playing, but I was watching one guide where somebody was like, "All right, this is like the best way to like do the new like game experience and stuff, whatever." Right? So, right, exactly. But they were like, "Yeah, so like you know, if you're starting a new character or whatever, like this is my guide how to best start." And like step 2 on his tutorial was go and ask your friends to craft you the best set of mage armor in the game. Okay. There's a lot of pieces missing there from the experience if you're literally getting handed like end game armor. So Vito, that guy, I don't know if it was Vito, but I was like, not for me. Sorry. Like even like my guildies have been super like, hey, we'll help you out with this and blah blah whatever. I'm just like, look, I get it, but like I don't want to owe you something, So here, what can I give you that I have that's something, right? So not to get too addicted to XP. I mean, I haven't done I haven't done like an XP party yet. I mean, as you can see, I have like what 51,000. I did go hunting with Kaz for a little bit in a tier 12. Oops, sorry, I mean, spinning this a bit. A 12 area, but I was helping. There are years of content in this game. If you're power leveled, you're bypassing a lot of it as well. Yeah, I could see that. What did you tell me to shut down before? Health, focus, in interface. Oh, yes, please. Timestamps. That'll be helpful. I think I missed. There we go. Oh! Game changer. Look at that. Yeah. I'm having a good time. I played it for a bit in 2018. But what happened then, the reason I kind of stopped playing it is I came across... So when I played Ultima Online, I played in the Chesapeake server, and I was a member of the Army of the Dragon. And like had a tower in Dragon's Watch overlooking the bay. It's great. It's good times. And one of the things that I was there for was when Dragon's Watch officially joined with Paxslayer. And so when I found the Paxslayer player-run town in this game, I got very excited about the prospect of potentially running into some people that I used to know from back then. And just also like kind of the flood of like memories and those sorts of things that comes associated with that. And I basically would log in and just hang out around Paxslayer hoping to run into people. And I didn't, basically. I must have came in like during a time between patches or those sorts of things. And it was kind of hard. It was kind of like... It was very bittersweet at the time. Where it was like super cool that like those people are still playing these kind of games, and knowing that in some semblance those things still exist, even beyond Ultima Online. But then not being able to find people was like... It was sad. It was sad. And honestly, I missed the deck-based combat. That's the biggest reason I came back this time. And I've logged in a couple times throughout the years since then. But finishing up all the Virtue quests, I've done that, obviously, by having the Shroud stuff. Yeah, no, it's very cool. And I like skill-based, like, skill-gaining MMOs much more than level-based MMOs. Which, I mean, like, this game obviously is a hybrid of, right? Which I think is fine. Like, having a numerical representation of your strength isn't necessarily a bad thing. But I like to be able to mix and match the stuff. There seems to be a lot of... And that was the other thing, too, like, when I was playing back in 2018, the depth of the PvP was also very exciting. Obviously, I wasn't skilled... Like, I did not have enough skill... enough skills at the time to be able to compete. So, the couple times that I had fights was not such a great time from my side. But the amount of depth in the system is just, it's incredible to me. And by the fact that I've logged in now for like 2 weeks straight, at least for a couple of minutes every day, I'm definitely having a good time. I can't stream every day, otherwise you guys would have seen me every day. When I have my children, I spend time with them and I do not stream. And so my 50-50 schedule means that my stream schedule is kind of erratic and everything too. I don't know. And then tomorrow I might do near, because like I've kind of need to get I kind of need to get back to it. Doesn't mean I won't play this for a little bit tomorrow, but I kind of promised somebody that I would get through that game, so. Oh no. I'm being done with the air elementals. Come over here, elementals, yeah. Come over here. Oh, hi. Why did my thing close? No. That was definitely not the push I want to click. Come on, sorry. Do this. Just close your eyes and pray. The virtues will protect you. Well, shoot. PvP is better now than it was then. I mean, I could see that. But I still think, like, you know... I don't know, I'd have a lot of fun goofing around with, like, strats and stuff that people don't find to be mainstream successful as well. I don't know. Like, I want to get out of this heavy iron and, like, get into leather. Build a more dex-like swordsman type build. Obviously, again, it won't work when I'm doing this kind of solo farming, but if I'm in a group and I'm not always taking the attention of the enemies... Oh god, I'm being dumb. Why? Let's just take a little walk over here. Good, good. Love being stunned, yep. It's my favorite. And the combo system, ah. I couldn't remember how to do it for like my first like 3 days back. I'm like, okay, I remember the combo system being really cool and one of the biggest like things that makes this game like from like, this is kind of neat to like fucking gold. And like I was running Fire Fist in my deck and I couldn't figure out why. I'm like, I know that Fire Fist synergized with something I'm doing. And of course now I remember, like, it's, hey, you can do flaming sword stabs with thrust and fire together, right? I should have traded with you so that you could give me the food you're bringing me and get on your way. I'm so sorry, I wasn't thinking. I'm so focused on the goal. Oh, I'm the worst. And like again, like I never got to super high level in this game, but I started to learn recently by talking to people and things like that, whatever, that the combos can use additional focus as well. So then there's that decision you have to make of like, okay, I could do the combo right now, but like for the focus cost, is it better for me to do something else right now? Like all those decisions are so cool and great. And like so many other MMOs out there, like all that decision making is just taken away from you, and it's literally just like, this is your rotate. And like I really like Final Fantasy 14, which is very much like that, where you have a very specific rotation you basically follow. Especially I play Black Mage as my primary. So there's a very specific order to get like max DPS out of you, right? And I'm sure there's a little bit of that. Sorry. Oh yeah, I heard about that. I don't know how much is fair, but 1,500? Thank you. Really appreciate it. Why didn't it go to the top of my stuff? That's fine. I mean, you delivered it to me and everything, so it's worth it. The swordfish stuff is good. Because I have, like, no idea what anything is worth in this game. I missed the free loot from the shrine, though. Dang it. I was too busy running away from stuff, I think, at the time. Yeah, like when Kaz is like, bring me materials, I need ore and wood. And I'm like, okay, here's literally all the ore and wood I have. Is that too much? Not enough? I don't know. Whatever, just take it. Alright, consumables. Eat some dragon stew. And some pumpkin. And I do like all the little prep steps too to make yourself good. It's good. Yeah, because I know they just released a bunch of new crafting stuff. That kind of like shook up the market, right? So, like silver, I guess, is really in demand right now, for instance, right? I've heard. Shouldn't say it like it's an authority. And I have a gigantic stack of not consumable. This pure elemental sands. 304 of it, right? Can't wait to vendor that. 1,500 gold. This could be so sweet. Yeah, no, definitely. I think that definitely makes the game much more enjoyable. I really appreciate meeting you in game, Vesper. Thank you for swinging by. As I continue to farm this artifact that I did this on Saturday, and I was out here for 12 hours, and I got one to drop. I absolutely will reach out if I can think of anything specific. The like, it's like the Heart of Earth that the air elementals drop, basically. The Sujuka, is that how you pronounce it, maybe? Somebody I talked to said you should get about 1 an hour. I mean, I'm probably not killing them fast enough. It's part of the problem, probably, but I definitely did not get those kind of odds. Yeah. Yeah, and I don't really want it for anything particular. Like, mostly I'm just here because I can kill these okay. I'm not going into debt in my experience pool when I'm doing this. And it's a way for me to train the skills that I'm trying to work on while I try to get one of those things for a guildmate, basically. I have no particular love or need of them, personally. At this stage, at least. But, yeah. Trying to help out where I can. And that's, like, another thing that I think is really cool about these styles of, like, MMOs as opposed to, like, a trailer park one, because, like, effectively, what am I, like, maybe 75% through the game, roughly, level-wise, if that, being adventure level 76. Yay, Ring of Earth. Most definitely what I am looking for. That's good to hear. I know I was looking at something, and I found an article from, like, 2017 where, like, wolves and stuff didn't drop artifacts ever. And I skinned a wolf the other night, and I got 3 artifacts on one wolf. I'm like, okay, apparently that's changed. Well, that's unfortunate. I'm glad that that has changed. Was it, like, based off of, like, player level or something then, or something? Common, surely that's the change, the tier artifacts. Got it. But I guess it kind of sucks then, too, when you're trying to get, like, a higher level of them, right? Where it's like, okay, I need a rare of this. Then you have to collect, what, 36 of them to get from common to rare? I'm not 100% sure how the artifact system works. Got it, okay. God. Almost just fell off the cliff there. Basically, now you can surprise search the goal as opposed to waiting hours and hours and hours and hours to get one. Yes. I guess that's true. Still took me 12 hours to get one the other day, though, right? So. One common, right? Oh, that food helps so much. Thank you again for writing that out to me. Appreciate it. Oh no. And again, like, you know, I got a lot out of it in the sense that I gained like 20 adventure levels, I think, from grinding on Saturday. So, I'm not complaining at all. And again, I wasn't ever dropping into like a EXP deficit, so Definitely seemed like I had things configured properly for the amount of combat that I was doing and stuff, so. And yeah, I got a bunch of dumb stuff in my deck right now, but it's because I'm trying to get like parry and stuff up too. We'll get there. Yeah, but I heard the higher level ones are like would be impossible to do solo right now, for me at least, so. I've only went to the north 2 or 3 times now, I think. Go get the bard skill, right? Gotta have that ability to sing. And then got it. Okay, I hear what you're saying. I guess maybe that's the next thing I need to do. Ah! So many knockbacks. Yeah, somebody was like, just wait till you have to do one of the puzzles and you get hit by something and you decide to combat roll into lava. I'm like, yep, that's definitely what I'm gonna do. Oh, some obsidian chips? Heck yeah. Everybody loves obsidian chips. Alright, let's see here. I got about 10 more minutes to my normal quitting time. So I guess we'll do one more wave. The fall, PvP, the best zone in the game, combat roll will get you killed there for sure. Okay. Oh. Stretch. Oh. Can't wait till I'm able to handle the sieges too and get like some of this quest stuff cleared off. I'm getting close, but the last time I went to try to do one, when I finally got to the stuff that was actually like a challenge for me to fight, I got swarmed and like killed because of just how many enemies came my way. So definitely getting close though. Definitely getting close. Well, good. My friend is playing a bad game. Hey, Dr. L. Thanks for stopping by. Ren for bosses. Got it. Yeah, I gotta pull Red out at some point. Fix my deck. Oh, wait, I gotta tap it. Hello? Elementals, I'm touching your stone. Look at, I'm getting my fingers all over it. Hello? Anybody want to, like, give me a bad time, huh? Elementals. How you guys doing? Nothing? Okay, I guess I'll go home. Oh, here they are. Yeah, it's a Sargato. Come on, Master, it's a good time. Can't always play Grand Theft Auto 5, you know? I mean, I suppose I could, but it's not my personality type. My personality type is to get addicted to something really hard and really, like, go hard on it for a while. Little timed resub? What? Well, I got a new emote today, actually. We haven't been able to use it once because she hasn't come by yet today. But it was kind of neat because I was just hanging out. I mod for this Twitch partner. And I was hanging out in the stream earlier today. And they were like, oh my god, Master. 3 more to a year? Jeez. Can't believe you've been hanging around that long. Really appreciate the support though, Master. Thank you. Yeah, I was hanging out in their stream and they were like, hey, send me a picture of your cat. Because it's like not okay for you not to have a cat emote. And then they made me a cat emote. So Gray Key has been forever modified into emote status. So yeah, it was awesome. They've done it's Sargat Joy. You should see it in your emote panel. I made it a tier 1. I moved Sargat O to tier 2 because I'm at the maximum you can get for an affiliate or normal emotes. I have 1 bit slot I could play with at 10,000, but let's be real here. 10,000 is like nobody is there yet, right? So. I mean, for the time being, I can move stuff around. I mean, nobody ever uses Sargat Woe. So if you want me to move Sargat O back to tier 1, I could move Sargat Woe to tier 2. I like Woe. Because everybody has, like, sipping emotes, right? Everybody's, you know, taking the thing and got a sip going on. But nobody had a spitting emote when I did that. So, like, I was like, I need a spitting emote. So Sargat Woe was born. And obviously Sargat when you get that good got him. Hello, Air Elemental. How you doing, buddy? Yeah, and Sargat Rip. The 3-day buffs. I do not know about the 3-day buffs. Are those like the obsidian potions from the Crown Store? If so, maybe I do know about them. Nope, I know nothing about a 3-day buff. Hello, elementals. There we are. Going in the Elysium Mines. I've heard of the Elysium Mines, I believe. That's supposed to be a really good place to go mining, right? Blood River Forest 10% healing mod. Oi, Sandy, how you doing? Doing alright, Sandy? There are Dex ones. Dex sounds good. I got a lot of strength on my armor and equipment right now. Probably too much. I'm a little off balance right now. I'm fully buffed. I'm at like 169 strength and what is that? 80 dex? 90 dex? Okay. Well, I will definitely have to look into that. Red Ferns, that would be a good one for you to figure out. I think it's 30 dex. Okay. Do I have to do like a quest there to work towards it, probably? That's exciting, because like the quest stuff I think is pretty interesting. I do wish that the game would be consistent a little more often on some of the quest stuff. Either give me full markers, or don't give me markers at all. I don't have a preference either way, but when I get like half markers and half not markers, I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing right now. Or as I grabbed the Vermilion lens fragment and I didn't realize that it was a fragment, not the whole thing. I'm like, ah, great. That was the first one I did too, so it was like, are they all gonna be like this? Luckily, it wasn't. Yeah, that'd be great. Down for that. I try to go into most of the places that I walk by, but I haven't been, like I said, to the stuff in the northern areas a heck of a lot yet. Alright, yeah, I'm ready to go whenever you are at this point, because 7 o'clock. Yeah, I mean, it's like 10 minutes to a wave. That ain't too bad. Oh, did I walk away from you? I just see you in the zone, maybe. Get to party. I'm learning. Oh man, really? Like, I didn't know I had no idea about the Verizon one at all. Like I kind of heard they were doing one, but I wasn't really sure kind of what the context of that was, like at all. I mean, I kind of gave my general thoughts earlier in the stream about E3 this year. And, most of it's been just the fact that, like, the two things that I found, I feel like AAA is really in a bad spot right now. I feel like AAA has a lot of problems. And I ranted about Assassin's Creed Valhalla again for like an hour. as my example of that, basically. But, alright, TP to friend. Alright, so I need a friend scroll for that. Use that on there. Okay. Yeah, 2042 looks good. I'm excited about the player count being bumped up to 128. There were I thought there were a bunch of indie games, but there's also been like 4 indie game showcases. So I'm starting to have problems remembering where I saw what. So like, I can't be like, go check out this one right now. I know that the what'd they call it? The whatever the one I think yesterday was. Norgard Fens. I have it. Here's the exit, huh? Alright, yeah, we'll definitely check this out tomorrow. Thank you so much for all your help, Vesper. Appreciate it. I'll go back to our Lilia. And log off in a little bit. I'll do all my like cleanup and stuff after I raid here. But anyway, Master, the only 2 games that jumped out at me that, again, I'm not like super hyped for either one of them. You only have the one game, which is literally which top 3 games you look forward to? No, none. Guardians of the Galaxy I thought looked interesting, but like the people that I was watching it with live quickly commented on how they were concerned about the fact that the way the dialogue stuff happens makes them think that the banter will be too much, and I think that's definitely a fair assessment. And then, and again, like I'm not really excited for it, but like it looked interesting. It was the only thing I've seen. Literally, that's the only thing that I've seen at E3 from a AAA perspective, not the indie stuff, that I went, well, this looks like it might be an okay game. And then Far Cry 6 is the only other one. But Far Cry 6 we've had like teasers for a while now. And that mostly has to do with the fact that Carlos Esposito, I think I pronounce his name, is such an incredible actor. And like pretty much anything that guy is in, I'm down for, right? Like fucking Mandalorian he's amazing in, Breaking Bad. All of his performances in fucking that the trailers so far have been on point. Exactly, Los Pollos Hermanos. Better Call Saul is like one of my favorite shows of all time. So, The New Forest. I haven't seen that one. I'll have to go look that one up, Vesper. Thank you for pointing that out. And so like Far Cry 6, like I haven't played a Far Cry game since 3. They're not really my cup of tea in a lot of ways. Climbing towers and stuff like that are just Sons of Forest. Okay. Climbing towers and stuff like that all the time, like, But like the plot on 6 is looking interesting to me. But again, it's really weird to me that like the game company is like, hey guys, this is not a political statement. We're not trying to say anything with this game. But like the game is about a revolution, right? Like how can you? But whatever, it's fine. I get it. But still, like, it's not how this stuff works. It's like in the real world. Or I don't know if you saw it, Master 2, but Battlefield 2042 or whatever, they were like, "Yep, we have no stance on anything." Nope. I get it. I agree. And the same with Battlefield 2042. It's like, no, this is what the scientists project these superstorms are going to look like. So that's what we're putting in the game. And if we don't change things, like, yeah, in 20 years, this is where we're going to be at, right? Like, there's a reason why this one isn't set in like 2142, guys, right? You're not going 100 years in the future. You're going 20 years in the future. Anyway, enough ranting for the night. Beware I live. Hey, Nobugu. You literally got here, like, just as I'm ending. Sorry. I'm gonna check to see. Yeah, I know, not enough ranting. I could rant longer, but like I need to get some sleep, and I'm trying to be better about going to bed like on time. So like there's a couple people that I'm now following playing Shroud. Let me just check if there's anyone else. I guess we'll raid Ellie. Yeah, no, Bagoo, I'm sorry. It happens, though, you know, but I'm trying to be better. But, like, if you want the really quick version, ick. Why are you icking me, Vesper? My hot take, Nobugu, for E3 this year has been maybe Guardians of the Galaxy, maybe Far Cry 6 for the AAA stuff, and then a bunch of the indies looked fun. The soup one, the cooking soup one, I thought looked really good. So. Epic Cougar? I should raid someone named Epic Cougar? Is that what you're suggesting I should do? You pretty much don't care about my... Well, I missed the Capcom one. What was going on during Capcom stuff? Alright. Yeah, let's go say hi. Sorry I didn't see them. Gravidity? Okay. I don't know who Gravidity is, but... We'll go over and say hi. And then I'm going to do some cleanup stuff. Who's in my guild now? Okay. I'm still learning everyone. I don't know all the personal interactions yet, trying to suss that out as I go. Everyone knows everyone, though. That's definitely a theme that I'm getting. So I'll be back tomorrow for my normal stream. I don't know for sure what I'm going to play tomorrow. Like, I'm still really having fun here, and this might be what I play. Like, I'm sorry, Master, I know you don't want to hear that. But, you know, I do have to get back to Nier, because I promised somebody I'd beat Nier. And I did download my PS5 version of Final Fantasy VII Remake, so I can buy the Intergrade Yuffie stuff, and I really want to play that as well. But we'll see. I don't know. So stay tuned to all the socials if you want to see that tomorrow. Anyway, I'm going to go get some sleep. Let's go say hi to Epic. Y'all have a good night. And